Hi, my name is Păulà Érizanò. I'm a writer and journalist from Moldova. I have written non-fiction, prose, poetry, so any genre. And I would argue that actually we are experiencing quite a flourishing and an explosion of women writers' literature in Moldova. Romanian language literature in Moldova is part of Romanian language more general, Romanian literature more general. So, you know, even if we're two different countries at the moment, the kind of literary borders don't really exist in the same way. So Romanian authors would get published by Moldovan publishers, and Moldovan authors would get published by Romanian authors. They get invited to the same festivals and so on, and participate internationally as well as part of the kind of Romania presence at various fairs and festivals. And in Moldova we have these novels, for instance, by Tatiana Țibulac, who won the European Union Prize for Literature for her Glass Garden, which is a story about like the end of the Soviet Union and the kind of passage from the dominance of Russian language to the rebirth of Romanian language in Moldova. But also authors like Lorina Balteanu tell the stories of growing up as a child in a village in Soviet Moldova, and how she sees as a child the kind of world around her and all of the different characters in the village. Valentina Șterbani and Emanuela Iurchin, who are authors in my generation, they have written kind of autobiographical stories about more recent kind of experiences, and Valentina's novel was translated in Spanish to great success. I have written a novel about early Soviet feminists, Alexandra Kollontai and Inesa Armand, and the way they contributed to making the Soviet Union the kind of first country in the world to legalize abortion, for instance, and other such policies. Right now I am finishing a book that is at the border between fiction and non-fiction, which deals with Moldova's history, so the last 100 years of our history, and I've taken as a starting point my grandparents' and great-grandparents' stories. But then I'm also adding to those stories the kind of personal experiences of different ethnic minorities that live in the country, and trying to basically have this pluralistic 3D story about what has happened to people who lived in Moldova over the past 100 years, beyond the kind of official history narratives that were distorted by the Soviets, and then slightly kind of distorted by the nationalist narratives that I grew up with.